Hi, this is Jeffrey Kurt Financial Group. Today is Monday, July 27, 2026. And we start of a very important week, I think, on many levels. We'll get into that. Quick look at last week. Stocks were down. The four major averages all down. The NASDAQ down over 2% and the Russell just over 1%. So we've seen a little bit of some weakness here. I mean, the NASDAQ is off over 8% from its all-time high in early June. So again, looking forward, lots of stuff going on. There's earnings, there's the FOMC, the Fed decision, there's economic data, and of course, geopolitical stuff too. On the earnings, this week is the busiest week of all, for this second quarter earnings announcements. But the four big ones are on Wednesday, Microsoft and Meta, Facebook. And then on Thursday is Apple and Amazon. But again, in between, lots of big oil, lots of big, Dow components and S&P, larger companies as well, and NASDAQ ones as well. So the earnings will be important, but those four kind of tie in and will give a signal to what's going on with the AI. The Fed has an announcement on Wednesday. There's only a 30% expectation probability of a rate hike for this meeting. The next meeting is the beginning of September, and that's much higher. I've seen a 90% expectations of a rate hike in September. And again, Chairman Warsh is doing it a little bit different, not giving as much guidance, so the market's kind of not as reassured as before, when I think the chairman and the Fed basically leaked the information to certain people. So again, uncertainty and like that. But again, the announcement and the press conference will be important. On the economic stuff, GDP and PCE on Thursday. PCE is a inflation gauge, important. And also tomorrow, Tuesday, is consumer confidence. I think that's kind of an important, maybe gain some importance given everything else going on. And then, in general, we've got these earnings which have been pretty good. But like Google announced last week, we got to spend more money and invest more money on AI. And I think this brings into the conversation perhaps questioning how much of a return are we going to get on these AI investments. Everything's, that every trade seems to be tied to AI. And if it's not going to be producing both the magnitude of the returns or the timeliness, they get pushed out further in terms of getting that return. That's a big problem, I think, because this is as I've been thinking, this is a bubble. I do believe that. It's not popped. Maybe it is popping, but it's not, there could be a lot more danger at some point in the future if these things don't work out in terms of AI and the economy and interest rates too, which have been moving up. So a lot of, I think components that are, flashing maybe caution. And I think, again, maybe some of it gets cleared up this week with earnings, the Fed, and some of the other economic stuff and the geopolitical stuff. We'll leave it there. We'll be back on Wednesday. Let us know any questions, comments. Again, I think it's an important juncture with the market that might be a little bit fragile. Talk to you on Wednesday. Thank you. Goodbye.